All right, '09 Pilot has a code P0128. Thermostat higher than regulatory. What was the definition? I forgot. But usually when it gets that code, it's because the thermostat is stuck open. And right there, you can see it's definitely open. It's an aftermarket one. Changing it out with an OEM Honda one. Here we go.
It's like a spotlight one.
The legit stuff right here, Eric. Oh, that light you got?
Yeah,
Dang.
see, that shit is legit.
You gonna put this on. Put it back to OEM. Didn't get the part where I took everything apart, but pretty much just to get everything out the way so I have space. Took out the battery, took out the fuse box that was chilling right here. Now we have access to it. Makes life easier. So now we put the new one on and it's pretty easy. It's only 2 bolts. So here's the OEM Honda thermostat, and what I like about this, it has an arrow and it says up. So usually the giggle valve is up, but some people say it doesn't matter if you go like this. I've seen some people put it right here, but at least on the Honda one, there's an arrow and there's this little groove right here, the little dimple right there. That's how you know it goes in the right place, because there's a dimple on the thermostat where it sits, right on top, right here. So there's no way of messing this up unless you're a hack, and we ain't no ghetto superstars here. So now I just got to put the gasket on, fairly easy. So that dimple is just a little bit to the side. Right there, but you just want to make sure this is on the up right here. Just position that little dimple thingamabopper right by the giggle valve where it says up, and you just simply put it in that little notch. Easy peasy. There we go. It is. Look at that. Easy. 2 bolts. Easy. Okay, the T-stat housing is ready to go. It's pretty clean, but go ahead and do a little wipey action, and it just goes on. See, Eric watching this, he said next time I need to do this, I'm gonna watch T-Mixer's YouTube channel and I'm gonna show people how to do a thermostat. Ain't that right, Eric? You got it, right?
Yeah, 2 bolts.
2 bolts, dude. So 10mm bolts, usually in a Honda, you torque down to 7.9, I think, or 8 pounds. So 2 10mm bolts. Let's go ahead and tighten it by hand, get it started. Man, who put all these wires in the way? Messing up the vision at the angle. Sorry guys, Honda designed this wrong. You need to put the T-stat more accessible so I could do a good video. Oh, what were you asking me right now?
Do you have to, once you put it together and put the coolant in, you have to get the air out?
Oh yeah, you would bleed it, like right there. I have that. That's why I have that spill-free funnel right there, that yellow thingamajiggy. Yeah. So you'll see it in a little bit.
Excellent.
I'll show you. I will show you the way. So right here, Eric, you see I'm using this 10mm socket on a quarter drive ratchet. This is what you want to use on the 10mm, so that way you don't over tighten it. Right. Because that way you could kind of tighten it, go to town a little bit without worrying about over torquing it. Because if you over torque it, you could possibly break the bolt, and you don't want that. So we took out the battery tray, this little fuse box that was hanging on the side, the air cleaner. I was having a hard time taking this off. His boot's already brittle and it's starting to crack, so I didn't want to mess with it anymore. So I kind of just let it chill there. So yeah, that's pretty much what we took off to get out of the way. This, that. That's pretty much it. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and do a time lapse now and put all that stuff back because we still need to bleed the coolant. You know, it's tough when you're here at Ixer Garage and all we do is chop it up about everything. So sometimes we lose track of time and don't focus on what we're supposed to do. All right, bleeding time. Then we got to clean up all that coolant that's on top of the tranny from pulling out the thermostat. Oh, there you go, it works. Don't need an adapter. So I'm a little disappointed. It doesn't say Honda OEM, but you know what? We'll let it slide, Eric, because it's blue and it says Honda right here. So we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide.
Oh, here we go. This is the open already.
Oh, it's open. Okay, yep. Go for it.
Just pour it in.
Go for it. I'm checking down here, making sure nothing's leaking from the thermostat housing, and it looks pretty okay to me from where I see it.
So how do you know if this is completely full of coolant?
Oh, so you just fill it up until you see coolant just hanging out right there. Then we're gonna start the car. As the car heats up, the air pockets start bubbling up, okay. And then that's how it bleeds. They call this a spill-free funnel, and whoever invented this is a genius, because back in the days we didn't have this, and coolant was getting all over the place while bleeding the system.
Okay.
So then the extra of that we would put in the overflow.
Okay.
Overflow container. We just got to bleed the system. Like I said, there's coolant all over on top of the transmission, so didn't put this on yet. And then gonna clean off most of the residual coolant that fell on top, and it's gonna be underneath the transmission too, so we'd probably have to hose that down later. So I'm gonna have you go in there and start the car, but since we disconnected the battery, the code's gonna be cleared now.
Okay.
So we don't need to clear it because we took care of that when we clear out when we disconnected the battery. All right, yeah, just go ahead and start the car. And then turn the heater on full hot, but turn the AC off. Perfect. See how it's on high? Then turn off the fans, or turn off the AC. Turn off
the AC's off.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you turn off the fans because if you
off.
Turn the fans on, it's like you're cooling the yeah, you don't want to cool it.
Okay, got it.
Because
so
the heater core acts like another radiator.
Oh, okay.
So if you leave the fans on, you're cooling the coolant. You don't want that.
So you just put the temperature all the way high, but turn
and
off
then shut it off.
Okay,
yeah, because when you put it all the way high, the mode motor or the heater valve, it closes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or opens, excuse me. Opens, lets the coolant flow in.
Gotcha.
Burp, 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 burp. So that concludes our repair for this 2009 Pilot. Fans have already turned on. I can feel it. And they're cycling off, and we are good to go. So you're wondering how we did this. So what I do is I squeeze the upper hose. It's supposed to be actually the lower hose. It's supposed to be lower, but it's hard to get to. So I'll squeeze the upper hose without burning myself, hopefully. So I squeeze it. Now go to the funnel, so it'll burp out here. I hold it down like this. I'm gonna pull this out. Take the radiator cap. I'm gonna put the extra in here. Okay. Good to go. We're a little bit short on coolant, but normally I like to go past this. But we'll monitor it and then we'll add more later on.
Yeah, no worries.
Like later on down the line.
Yeah.
Thermostat replacement on this 2009 Honda Pilot for code P0128 because of a stuck thermostat.